DJ and Bob here from 303 Products, and today we're going to take you through a full car detail from start to finish.
The 303 automotive line has everything you need for every step along the way.
So watch the whole video or skip ahead to the section you need to find out tips and tricks on how to make your car look better than new. The first thing we're going to be doing is detailing under the hood. You're going to want to cover any electrical components. An easy way to do this is by using a plastic bag to make sure any of those electronics are covered.
We're going to be using 303 tire and rubber cleaner. You can use any cleaner and degreaser to get the job done under the hood.
Usually your ECU and your fuse box will be near the sides, either left or right, and you want to make sure they're covered up with a plastic bag. You can do it with a garbage bag or any bag you have at home. This does have a covered air filter, so we don't have to worry about covering that. But if your car does not have a covered air filter and it's exposed, you're going to want to cover that with a bag as well.
Once that engine bay is clean, we're going to cover any plastic components with 303 Protectant. We're going to let it sit while you're doing the detail so that you save time and you don't have to wait for it.
Another great thing about our Protectant is it actually soaks into all those plastic and rubber pieces, keeping it protected from fading and cracking. All right, our next step is going to be washing the car. We're going to be using our 303 car wash. This has high lubricity, which is good. That way you're not getting any scratches and swirl marks when you're washing the car. Also, this has no wax added, which is great because then you're not going to be having to strip that layer of wax off later.
There are two methods to washing your car. There's the 2-bucket method, where you have a wash and rinse bucket, and then there's the 3-bucket method, which uses the same ideology as the 2-bucket method, but you're adding a wheel and tire bucket to that as well. Today we're going to be using the 3-bucket method, so we're going to be washing the wheels and tires first. If you use a 2-bucket method, you're going to do that last so that you're not introducing any of the dirt and debris from your wheels to the rest of your paint. The 303 tire and rubber cleaner has anti-redeposition technology. As you can see, the brush has picked up a lot of dirt and road grime from the tires, and the anti-redeposition technology will pull that dirt and road grime off the brush. I'm going to spray the brush here and dip it in the bucket, and as you can see, we have a clean brush.
303 tire and rubber cleaner also works great on rubber floor mats. This is a great time in the process to get this done. That way they can dry while you're washing the rest of the car. Now you want to start washing the car from top to bottom. This way when you're rinsing all the dirt down off. Also when you're taking your mitt, you want to go in a back and forth motion instead of in swirls, because that's what makes swirl marks and scratches in the paint. So now we're on to claying the car. What used to be a little clay bar, when this got dirty or you dropped it on the ground, you had to dispose of it. What 303 has is a clay mitt. Now all you have to do is rinse it off if you drop it, and this is good for at least 30 uses.
So today we're going to be using 303 Speed Detailer as a clay lubricant. You can also use soap and water. What this does is it creates lubrication between the clay mitt and the paint to prevent scratching and marring.
So a cool little trick you could do at home is take a little plastic bag and just lightly rub it on the paint. You're going to feel little humps and bumps. Once we clay it, you're not going to feel any of that. Just take the Speed Detailer, spray a light mist on. Just like we did with the wash mitt, you're going to want to do straight back and forth motions on the paint. So now if you decontaminated the paint properly with the clay mitt, you won't feel any of those humps and bumps. All right, so now we're on to our polishing step. This is going to be our 3-step process. We have our compound polish, finishing polish. Depending on how your paint looks, this is going to get out any of those scratches, swirl marks, and bring out the ultimate clarity within your paint.
As you can see, we have the pads color coded to match the bottles for each specific product. The first step is the compound. That's going to remove your heavier scratches and swirls up to 1500 grit. Then you have the polish. That removes your medium or light scratches and swirls up to 2000 grit. And then for that final showroom shine, you're going to want to use the finishing polish. The pads have different levels of density and cutting ability for each product. As you can see, the orange is the most dense and provides the most cutting ability, followed by the polish and then the finishing polish. So the first thing that we're going to do is do a test spot on your paint with the polish to see what level of correction you need to have done.
So the first thing you want to do is put your pointer finger through the pad and get it lined up evenly. Make sure this just sits right on top of there. And then another thing we do is we put a black mark on the backing plate, and that's just to make sure that when you have it on here, you can see the rotation to make sure it's spinning.
So he's going to do a test spot with the polish. The reason he's doing that is because it is the middle ground and what most people will need on their paint. You don't want to have to do the compound if you don't have to.
A little bit of product goes a long way here. You don't need much, or else you're going to get sling all over the place. You only need about 3 little dime-sized amounts. All right, so you just want to put it on here, kind of spread out that product again so it's not slinging all over the place. You want to stay within a 1 foot section, plus you want to keep the machine level. You don't want the pad getting hot, so if you have it like this or like this, angled, the pad's going to disintegrate. Plus the black line that we talked about earlier, when you have it flat on the paint, you'll be able to see that it's spinning. If you don't see the line spinning, that means there's no correction being done. Once you work the product in slowly, you can then turn your speed up to get more correction. So now we're going to wipe off that residue from the polish. We're going to take our detailing light, shine it where we just went over. As you can see here, it's pretty clear, so there's no need for us to step down to the compound. Also, if you noticed, I do have the cord over my shoulder. This is just kind of a cool trick to keep that cord from rubbing against the paint.
So Bob's been using a dual action or DA polisher. There's also rotary polishers. And the difference between the two is that a rotary polisher spins in a circular motion, whereas a dual action polisher spins, but it also oscillates, so you're not applying pressure to one spot on the paint for too long. One is not necessarily better than the other one. However, with the dual action polisher, you're going to have less chance of burning through the paint, and a rotary polisher, you're going to be able to work a little bit quicker.
So now that you're done with the polish, you could step up to the finishing polish. It's going to bring out the clarity and gloss in your paint.
So we just got done polishing the car. Now we're going to use 303 Touchless Sealant to protect all that hard work that you just did. You can also use a spray wax or any other last step protection product. However, 303 Touchless Sealant makes it easy because you simply hose down your paint, spray the product on, and rinse off.
Now when using the 303 Touchless Sealant, you want to make sure the painted surface is wet. And then just lightly mist this product on and rinse it off. What used to take hours waxing a car is now done in seconds with 303 Touchless Sealant. So we just got done protecting the exterior of this car with the 303 Touchless Sealant. You can see our awesome water beading. Don't be afraid to get it on the windshields, the mirrors, any plastic trim, or the wheels, as it's perfectly safe to be used on any of those exterior surfaces. Also, check out our 303 Touchless Sealant Explained video to learn more. So our next step is going to be drying off the car. We're going to be using our 303 Waffle Weave Towel. This does have a waffle pattern, and it absorbs more water because it has more surface area.
We're also going to be using our 303 spray wax as a drying aid. Helps to absorb the water and gives you an extra layer of protection on top of that touchless sealant.
The reason we're drying the car is so you don't get any of those hard water spots. So now we're on to the final step of detailing the exterior of this car, which is going to be dressing the tires. We have 3 different products with 3 different finishes, and DJ is going to take us through which ones do which.
So first off, we have the 303 tire coating and protectant. That's an aerosolized foaming tire coating that's going to give you a satin finish. Then we have a hand applied 303 tire balm and protectant. You're going to apply that using a tire applicator, and with 1 coat that will give you a natural finish. 2 coats will give you a satin finish. Finally, we have 303 high gloss tire shine, and that's going to give you that wet high gloss finish that some of you are looking for. And we also have a video explaining the differences in depth between the 3.
On these tires, we're going to be using the 303 tire coating and protectant. If you do get any overspray on your wheels, make sure to wipe it off with a microfiber. Hold the can about 4 to 6 inches away from the tire, spray evenly around it, and then let it sit for about 10 minutes to dry.
So before we move into the interior, we're going to check under the hood and see how that protectant we sprayed on there earlier is doing. As you can see, the protectant has coated all the surfaces and given you a nice clean black look.
Here we are, final step, cleaning and protecting the interior of your ride.
And for that, we're going to be using 303 interior cleaner, 3-in-1 leather care, and 303 protectant.
We're going to be using our 303 interior cleaner on any glass, plastic, cloth, and even LCD screens.
While you can use our interior cleaner on leather seats, today we're going to be using our 303 leather 3-in-1 complete care product. Now that the interior is clean, we're going to be using 303 Protectant and any plastic, rubber, or vinyl to keep them protected and looking like new. For more information, check out 303 Protectant Explained on our YouTube page.
As you can see, we're done detailing the entire car. Looks great. Hope you learned some tips and tricks along the way.
If you're wondering where you can buy our products, visit our Where to Buy tool at 303automotive.com.
Thanks for watching.